Guys, so beautiful thing, as they say, happened. I noticed that I didn't stream actually, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, so what's going on? Uh, let me explain in short. I made a logic for the button that's slightly different than this one, and I'll explain in the code what's going on. So now I created a couple of images, and those images share a naming format. Let me just see, maybe I have them loaded up. Nope. Okay, I'll load one up over here. So because everything is slightly obscured over here, I'll just load one up. All right. Um. Well, um, so you guys should be able to see this. The base image is 125, research, and PNG. The next one is blue and yellow. So those are two my differentiators. As you can see, they are as you can see, they are used in this format. So this is referring to this image here, and yellow and blue is when we are operating this image. I mean, this variable is not going to be used, so I'll just put it in active, and I'll go and explain what's going on. I created, because I'm not working with signals at this time, on another video I'll work with signals and explain how the signals work. Currently, this button over here has its own node management, and in node management we can track actions, and well, basically these are the signals. So we have in Godot we have two options. One is either we use the code for recognizing and generating signals, or we use nodes of elements to connect signals to specific function execution. So in our case, whenever a button is pressed, it will activate this function. Whenever a mouse enters the button, it will trigger this function. When mouse exits this function, this button, or it will trigger this function. Okay, so basically, this is what we need. We don't need anything else. When we go into the code, we see that we have a limiter, let's call it that, because so if our static value is true, then do the operation where we get a visual change of the icon. And how the icon change is done, it's done in a format like this, where we take the image name, so technically Godot doesn't take, when we go and tell it, okay, tell me what icon I'm working with, it will not give you a base string. It will give you an object reference. So it's not the data that you can process normally. So we take that data and tell it, okay, generate a path from that. So tell me what is the path. Once we have the path, then we can operate the path. Once we have the path, we go and tell it, okay, give me a substring, eliminate 4 last characters. Why 4? So 4 characters on the initial image are dot and png. And next, what we want to do, we tell it, okay, create a new variable, assigned ypng to it, and a load image from ypng path into it. When we do that, we get a color change between the normal button and yellow form. Once we press the button, that's the pressed option over here. So once we press the button will send a signal to stop changing, to stop basically the change of the color. Of course, sorry, my mouse almost fell. Of course, there are other things to keep in mind, but for this time, I'm keeping things extremely short because, like I mentioned, I accidentally didn't stream the stream properly, so very funny. But yeah. Yeah, but in short, this is one form how we can operate things in Godot. So why am I showing you this format where we are taking a variable and changing it? Well, now that we have this, once we have signals in next video, we will have one function that will basically take all the signals and work with those signals in terms of, okay, it's if signal is coming from this, take this image from over here, recognize that this image is in question, and so that can all be packed into one function for when mouse enters, one exit, and one function when it's pressed. It's a bigger function, of course, but it will operate as we need it in this format. So yeah. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention is I think that's it actually. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's it. But this is the rough explanation of how we can manage functions and how we can manage the image change on a button that makes sense. So yeah, because so in the first example that we did, I think last week, the change was mostly using a hard-coded paths, and this can change a lot. And the idea is eventually this icon path can be preloaded somewhere else. So technically it will allow us to make customization on those images. So in terms of, okay, we want some custom image to be shown somewhere else down the line. So that means that it can be preloaded through a configuration file or something like that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Okay, guys, I'm sorry for this in a way. I wanted to make this stream a bit longer, more fun in a way. However, I basically didn't press stream button, so joke's on me. Okay, that's it for now. See you. Bye.